Are we live?
Oh,
We are live.
we didn't have. I missed the milkshake part. Now we've had the
This-
milkshake part the past
This
two.
is the milkshake you wanted?
Oh, really? What milkshake?
Yeah.
Oh, from There'll Be Blood.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I forgot to mess that up. That's cool.
I drink your milkshake.
That's funny. Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Real Boys. It is real. It's a real show with some boys on it. We have three boys today. We have Mr. Phil Better, the boyiest of all the boys here. Whatever. His Bobby's World impression is top notch right now.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like that he's doing 2002 impressions of what's that guy's name?
Howie Mandel.
Howie
Mandel.
Mandel.
The great
yeah.
Canadian himself.
He is a Canadian. Yeah.
I watched an
So wild.
embarrassing amount of Bobby's World.
Oh yes, same here.
It's a great show. Bobby's World actually was a pretty good show. But that's cool. We also have another one of the boyish boys. We have Mr. Mick Monster
Cold bro.
Colbro.
Cold bro himself.
Dude, he's so bro.
What's
Such a
up,
bro.
guys?
He's like the
What's
broest.
up, bros?
He's the broski bro. man.
And myself, most likely Zach Wiseman. Whatever. I was going to go
The
with not
wisest
sure.
one of us all.
Yeah, that's true. I am the only man in this room full of boys here. Well, I mean, just because of my name, really. That's it. Well, you're the better one, Phil. You know that.
I am better than you.
Anyway, so if you don't know what this show is, what we do is we have a whole bunch of weird podcasters and really just pseudo-professional talkers. And we got ourselves together, picked our 5 favorite movies, made fun of each other about them, and then decided to review them all. Because
also had arguments.
Lots
Heated
of arguments.
debates.
Lots
Yeah,
of
before-
arguments.
Yeah, way before even Real Boys started, there was already fights over these movies. And there originally was 12 Real Boys. 4 of us left because of Phil's movies. But
I'm sorry.
Luckily-
Clockwork Orange first. Okay.
luckily,
It took a while to get to mine.
we're gonna be doing one of Justin Wallace's his number 2 movie, Idiocracy, which is a
We
really
should have
phenomenal
the little
movie.
thing. Why don't we have the thing rolling down at the bottom?
Oh yeah,
telling
well
us all
it's
that?
because I'm sorry.
You're
Dylan,
such
you-
an unprofessional
It's
director.
because we don't have our actual director. We have
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
backup. Our backup.
we have the
director.
assistant director of this assistant director.
Mhm.
Or the assistant director.
So yeah, is this what you were looking for, Phil?
Well, I don't. You can keep yours on because you need that ego boost. So yeah,
That's
Fine.
very fair.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
just keep
so-
that one on
oh,
now.
yeah,
There
you
we
can
go.
keep that one. No, that one's fine. there
Okay,
we
so
go.
we're going to
There
be
we go.
talking about Justin Wallace's number 2 favorite movie of all time, which is Idiocracy. Now, before we get into what this is, everyone's seen this movie before this event, correct?
Yes,
Nope.
I saw it way
Wow.
back, like when it was on DVD or whenever. Like I literally rented it from the local DVD store.
Yeah.
It was so good.
So, Colbro,
Yeah,
this is your first experience.
this
Now,
was my
you-
first.
are
I
you-
don't know why, because it was on my radar. I'm a
Yeah.
Mike Judge fan. Like I watched Beavis and Butthead back in the day. Office Space is one of my favorite comedies.
Love Office Space.
I would have rather talked about Office Space than Clockwork Orange, by the way, but go ahead.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
I
So
think
would I
everybody on the panel.
Yeah, and honestly, Office Space is still a troubled movie, but it is no Boondock Saints. But go ahead, Michael.
Yeah. So
Hey, listen. We left that last week. We do not
Yep,
need to continue.
nope, we're not
okay?
talking
Well, I
about it
wasn't
ever
there.
again.
I wasn't
Hey,
there for
your
that
own
one. so-
fault. Okay, you missed out on
That's
an
fair.
excellent
Yeah.
episode that people
That's
should
fair.
listen to.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So yeah, I absolutely don't know why I didn't watch this movie. I'm just as surprised as anyone, but it just sort of kept missing me and then when I saw it on here, I was like, oh cool. Now I'm finally gonna have no excuse to
forced
not
to.
watch this movie. And then I did, and I was glad that I did, because it was nothing like I was expecting,
Yeah.
but I liked it. I mean, not as much as Office Space, but I liked it a lot.
Now, I will say, and I watched Office Space and Idiocracy when they came out. I worked in a Regal Cinema for a very long time, so I've seen a lot of movies that, like, when they came out. And now Office Space immediately caught me. I'm like, this movie is a classic. This will be great forever. When I watched Idiocracy the first time, I was like, nah. I mean, I get it. It's not going to last. Now, though, I think that's aggressively flipped. Office Space is funny, but it's a little dated now. It's got its place. Idiocracy, every single time I watch it, is closer and closer to actual reality. Now, okay, so for those who don't know, Idiocracy, beautiful movie, directed and written by Mike Judge. It came out in 2006, and it is like a science fiction comedy. Also co-written by Ethan Coen. I don't know if you guys know that one of the Coen brothers helped write this, which is very cool. And you can see it in like the storytelling aspect.
I see it now.
Now, once again, if you don't know, this is stars Luke Wilson, Maya Rudolph, Dax Shepard, and it follows an American soldier who takes part in a classified hibernation experiment only to be accidentally frozen for too long and awakens 500 years later in a dystopian world where dysgenics and commercialism.
Are you sure you're not from 500 years in the future and you just came back on that time machine ride?
So when I wrote this, apparently I put too many S's in that word.
You don't get Grammarly? Jeez, it's free, man. Come on.
Listen, Dylan has been off. He's not word checking anything. He's not spell checking anything. I'm running rampant over here with words and misspellings. But anyway, now mankind has embraced its anti-intellectualism, and society is devoid of such traits as intellectual curiosity, social responsibility, justice, and human rights. Now, like I said, when I first watched this movie, I just thought it was just a stupid comedy. Rewatching this movie, I think that if Trump got reelected, we would be here right now. Now, okay, so we're going to get into
one of two things. Like we would be, it would be either the Idiocracy or the Handmaid's Tale. Like that's where we would be. Something without like the fact that like women's right would be completely abolished and stuff like that. Maybe not like the fact that we can't have children or whatever, but like that dystopian type future, and then which will lead into the purge. Yeah. Like that's our two routes we're going down if Trump was reelected. We're going to the purge or not. We're going straight dumbasses.
I would just like to say that liberal Hollywood and their SJW woke bullshit, they cast a black guy as President Donald Trump. And I think that's wrong because Donald Trump is a white man canonically.
Yeah, they cast him as a black man
with a black person
with a Spanish name.
Wrong.
That is funny. But seriously, like Donald Trump would obviously be sponsored by like Mellow Yellow or some trash, like Mountain Lightning and Senor Piperto. Okay, so spoiler-free review. Now, Michael, you just watched this movie.
Yeah.
What do you think about
it? Like I said, I was surprised. If we're not going, spoilers, I don't really think there's too much to spoil, but like
I mean, it is like a 15-year-old movie, so let's go for it.
Yeah, people have said it before, and it's like you said it at the beginning of this episode. This thing is getting closer to reality every day. Like, I talk to people, and it's like, I can't believe people actually believe some of this stuff, and like, and they just like, and they're so adamant about not listening to anyone else's
opinion
or reality.
Yeah.
And it's like
yeah, it's true. Yeah. Like no one thinks anymore. It's like whatever you're told, that just is what it is. Now Justin obviously just commented the most perfect name for any president, which is Alejandro Mountain Dew Camacho III. Which means Mountain Dew has two other generations of this family, which is great. Now, speaking of Justin Wallace, and once again, if you're watching us on anything, feel free to comment anything you want. Tell Michael how PC culture's gone mad. Tell
how the woke man.
Yeah, tell Phil better that syrup is better than maple syrup.
Hey, you watch your mouth, boy.
It doesn't matter. It's from Vermont. That's the U.S. I don't care what you say. But anyway, speaking of,
and I put ketchup on my waffles anyway.
Okay. Now I hate your guts, Michael, for real. But we do have a video from Justin. He couldn't be here. He's he's working in the neighboring trailer park. There's a bit of a trailer park fight going on. No, it's okay. That's where our money is right now. But yeah, whatever. But anyway, he did take the time to send me a video on my Zune. So let me see if I can get this loaded real fast.
Zune? What the hell's a Zune?
It's a like an iPad. It's not that. It's
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
now.
it's
I
like an
remember
iPod, but it was made by
free
Sony.
iPod. Yeah.
And they
Exactly.
were very delicate, and if you like sat on them wrong, the whole screen cracked.
Yeah, but honestly, you could fit like upwards of 10 whole CDs on a thing. And think of that. That's 10 CDs I don't need to carry, one machine. But let's here's the video that Justin sent to me. So let's see what he says about his favorite, or his number 2 favorite movie.
Hey, what's going on, real boys? Justin Wallace here. First off, I wanted to apologize for not making it tonight to my number 2, Idiocracy. I've missed.
Okay, I don't know why his face is so wide, but
He's put on a few pounds. He's put on a few pounds.
He like just shut down and just got real fat for this movie. I'm sorry. Let's play this. That just caught me off guard. I should have watched this video before I uploaded it. But go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, real boys? Justin Wallace here. First off, I wanted to apologize for not making it tonight to my number 2, Idiocracy. I've missed quite a bit of shows. That's due to some work and personal conflicts that don't really want to get into, but I'm proud of each and every single one of you guys. I mean, even without me there, the Real Boys has really blown up. I mean, kudos. I honestly couldn't say much better than that, but let's get off this sappy stuff. Let's talk about this movie. It is my number 2, Idiocracy. It answers a big what if, though. You know, what if the educational system's dumbed down, people didn't care about education anymore, and we really just started going after our idols? I mean, I feel like that's kind of a conflict we can really relate to even now, even today. You know, what if Dwayne Johnson became our president? You know, so that's one of the reasons why I like it. It's got a lot of just stupid humor. Just what's the best way to explain? Like fart jokes. Just a bunch of fart jokes that we can all laugh at. Just that stupid random humor that's you can't help but get a little chuckle out of. The story's good. The cast they picked, phenomenal. What'd they say, the number 1 movie for like 3 years is Ass? Just a movie about an ass. I mean, who can't help but laugh at that? But that's enough of why I like it. I'm sure everyone else is going to tear into how ridiculous it is, how terrible the plot is. Hopefully I can get 1 or 2 good votes out of it. I'm going to give it 9 reels. I feel like that's fair for me. It's good. So yeah, that's my view of Idiocracy. I was trying to keep it short and sweet. I think I hit that, and so I'm proud of each and every one of you. And yeah, well, hopefully we'll see you next time. Love y'all.
God, it's gonna make me cry. I'm up here getting teary-eyed. Man, I love that man.
I think Justin's gonna be happy with how
much we love this.
movie.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounded like he was
scared. He was like, he heard last week and he's like, Jesus Christ, they ripped into Phil's number 2 with reason.
He's
with
so
reason.
wide.
How did he send me a Snapchat filter of himself being serious? Like, I hope that he like did that on purpose and is being so straight about the fact that he knew it was gonna make him look like Hey Arnold.
Oh yes, I love that. I love that Arnold reference. Thank you.
That's funny. Yeah, no, Justin is gonna he's gonna be very happy with the fact that we're probably love this movie. But I'm probably gonna have a second Real Boys this week just to review his video. Because at first I'm like, did I do this wrong? And then a second I was like, oh, he's roasting us. All right, that's cool. And then I'm like, wait, he's teary-eyed because we're doing a good job. And it's like, wait, he's teary-eyed because he likes this movie. All right, that's cool. And then I'm like, no, that's cool. It wasn't even on purpose. I love it. I need to figure out how to make my head like that. That was great. All right, so back to this movie. Okay, so now in 2005, U.S. Army librarian Corporal Joe Bowers is selected for a suspended animation experiment as the most average individual in the entire armed forces. Lacking a suitable female candidate, the military hires a sex worker named Rita by bribing her pimp Upgrade. Now, I will say that is probably one of my favorite through jokes is that Upgrade's going to find out, Upgrade's going to get me. Every time Maya Rudolph was so upset about Upgrade, I'm like, bro, you're 500 years in the future. He's not here. But then I also was waiting for Upgrade to show up.
I was also waiting for Upgrade to show up.
Like the 17,000s or something just shows up. Woman, where's our money?
I've been waiting. We've been waiting. My great-grandfather.
I also liked how when they looked up Upgrade, there was like 900 something upgrades.
Yeah. So I like that the beginning of this is like, look, we just need the most average person known to man, almost the most boring to a fault person, just to see what would happen.
Wiseman.
That's okay. That's fair. Yeah, I guess I'm fairly average. Sure.
We're all average white men, so yes.
I mean, okay, in that context, the real boys, I am an average real boy, except for Jarian, who's obviously better. Now,
way better.
Yeah. So, and then the second thing that I really just caught me again was the scientists in this experiment is like getting more and more messed up on drugs and like sex workers and all this stuff while this is going on. And obviously, like the military kind of gets defunded, so they just throw all of it away. and he just now the precipice of the whole movie is what was it? It was like something that fell off of like into the dump, right? Was it one thing? Oh man, I forget again. But the very beginning of the movie, one piece of trash falls, which knocks that whole pile all over, which pushes Joe's capsule into Dax Shepard's house. And Dax Shepard, who's sitting on the best seat ever, which is a toilet, lazy boy, and watching, which I think is just Kick Me in the Balls TV.
Ow, my balls is the name
Ow, my balls. Now the sad thing is like. Good.
I would absolutely 100% watch the show.
That's
my balls.
That's so sad.
Yeah,
like
that's what I was gonna say. The same thing. It's like,
would.
Yeah, I was like, I really hope that this doesn't become our actual future. Except I would watch Ow My Balls.
Absolutely.
I probably would even watch an hour and a half of Ass and laugh multiple times.
The show, like the guy is standing on the balcony. He gets kicked in the balls, flies off the balcony, hits his balls on the clothesline on the way down, falls off of the clothesline, hits his balls on the wall on the way down, and then he's standing in the road and he gets hit in the balls with like a wrecking ball. And I was like legitimately cackling through that whole thing. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm one of them.
Also, we also go, that's so much pain, but also the man would be dead through the pain. We realize how ridiculous it is that it would be impossible for all those to happen, but at the same time, it's hilarious because we know how painful that poor man is going through.
And I don't think there's anyone out here who has not watched this movie. And I was shocked to find out that Colby just watched this. That is really just almost upsetting. Sorry, I have a page loading and I think I'm lagging. Because this seems like a movie. This seems like a movie that you would have just put into your soul a while ago for some reason. And being a Mike Judge fan, I think that this might be the best bit of media that Mike Judge has produced. I love Beavis and Butthead. It's slightly dated. I love Office Space, slightly dated. He's had his hands in a lot of King of the Hill. Obviously, is phenomenal. That's probably gonna last forever. But there's something so special about the foresight that he had to make this movie. And obviously the premise is very stupid. It's like, hey, what if and it makes sense. Like in the beginning, it's like, hey, there's these two people that are a couple and they're so intelligent that they're trying to make sure it's the best time to raise a child. Then there's a football player who wants to just bang. And it makes sense how it works. So you're like, yeah, I can see just like the stupidity running rampant.
It's true, because if you look back, he's like, he's looking at 2005 when it came out, or whenever he started writing this. Like, let's say it was 2 years beforehand to write the script and get it all set up. He's like looking down the road, and he knows that that's what's going to happen because millennials are waiting longer and longer to have kids, and then you have the stupid people who's like, oh, I don't like condoms because it doesn't feel good, and those stupid fucking reasons because they're stupid, and you're like, well, that explains everything, and like it's possible and it will happen because we see it happening now. Plus, with media promoting the dumb people are dumb, stupid, and hot, and everybody's going down the dumb, stupid route. It's scary, man.
Yeah.
And
so scary.
There is one thing that because my wife stopped watching this movie
because she was scared.
No, because and for a reason that I understood, because they are using like ableist slurs and homophobic slurs, and I'm like, I get not wanting to hear that, but at the same time, the reason it wasn't so bad for me, which I've said, the villains and stuff, let the villain say it. So in this, we have people who are descended from the stupid people who didn't think that stuff was wrong to say. Yeah. So now you've got a whole
character trait.
You have a whole society of people saying that stuff. So I see both sides of it. Like, I see the satire end of it, but I can also see not wanting to keep hearing it over and over again. So
I completely agree. And that was one of the things that popped off to me the last time I watched it. Was like, oof. But it's one of the few times that, unfortunately, it kind of makes sense in the story.
Yeah,
because like, and I hate to keep using Trump, but if Trump's America were to take over, those words would probably be a little bit way more accepted and possibly legal, which is upsetting. So that was one of the few
mandatory,
times. And
mandatory.
They use it.
That's not too far off.
I completely agree.
It's if I'm not sorry saying this, but if Trump's America came through with all the stupidity that they did, these things would be common occurrence. Like I said, if Trump was reelected, you guys in the States would be living either Idiocracy or the Handmaid's Tale type society, which would lead to the purge, which I'm not going to lie, probably a lot of people, you guys, tourism would be probably up, because of, people want to hunt. But so like that, like that's why I'm scared for your guys' 2024 election, because it's like, Jesus, there is a good chance this motherfucker still has the wave and power, because you guys are still debating on January 6th. What happened then, like I'm fucking petrified as a Canadian.
No, man, that's fair. But I don't want to get too much into politics because that's not really what we're trying to do. But I agree, and it's hard, and it's also hard not to with this movie, because this movie is what would happen if politics went that route.
Went to a wrestling promotion, Conor McGregor stupidity type world.
I agree. Now, I think the funniest thing in this movie, the funniest concept, is that somehow a Gatorade-style company bought the rights to water plants at some point so long ago that they just the people just forgot that water goes on plants. And I just thought that was just absolutely crazy. And honestly, if you're watching along, please let me know what you think about this movie. If you're listening along, let us know what you think, because we're big fans of this movie for the most part, except for a couple lines, really. But I would love to know your thoughts, and we would love to make fun of them, because honestly, like Michael always says, PC culture's gone mad these days.
I always say that.
You do. Sometimes you even text me that, and I'm like, why? Why are you saying that?
He yells at me for some stuff too when I try and be PC.
I'm always yelling and saying about how
it's true. You're an angry man.
How the SJWs are ruining everything.
Seriously, and that makes sense, because honestly, Phil's always bragging about stuffing beavers and really going at it, and then Michael's like, "Hey, we don't want those SJWs on our backs." And and honestly, Phil's just trying to make a living. He's trying to make a living and a podcast.
I'm sorry, it's seal hunting. Okay, we do seal hunting in Canada. Thank you very much.
Oh, you guys still do that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's national path time, you know.
Yeah.
Peter's always on our ass in Greenpeace, but we say fuck it. We knock some seals on the head with a bat.
Like I always say, club seals, not sandwiches. Anyway,
there we go.
So now this movie it's very quotable though, which is I think one of my favorite things about any movie is a quote, you know, and that also lets you know how good of a movie and how lasting of a movie. And when I came back to Justice League of Zack Snyder, I actually couldn't remember a lot of quotes. And I'm like, okay, well, but there's a lot of.
Isn't there just some Martha? Isn't that like no? Sorry, that's Batman versus Superman. I apologize.
That's BVS.
I never saw Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't have 6 hours of my life to waste.
Yeah,
weren't you on that episode?
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
no, I think he was. But don't worry, everyone. Phil's content is on Canadian time, which is I think 4 years after when the United States gets anything. So
we get things before you.
They're just about to get into Supernatural, so watch out, Canada.
It's filmed in Vancouver. Like, come on. Most of your stuff is filmed in Vancouver or Toronto. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's because Canadians don't understand how to take money properly. It's like, it's like $10, okay? It's like $10,
Let's talk about this movie.
Jesus Christ! I'm sorry. Let's see this movie's making fun of which country? Which country here? The Canada or the U.S. here?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Now, of all the quotes in this movie, which quote would you say stands out to you guys the most? I'll go first if it's okay.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have to go because I wasn't in it for the quotes this time.
Oh, there's really no scene that stands out to you. Okay, so the one scene
whenever Terry Crews is on screen, I just love Terry Crews, and like it's just him. I remember him giving a address and just like yelling about electrolytes. He's always about electrolytes. It's just electrolytes.
Yeah.
He's so good in that. And that long blonde wig and the American flag vest, just hilarious.
Jesus.
And then he's like shooting the gun. Like he's in the middle of Congress.
Full America.
He's
full America.
And honestly, America. Like I don't think that there's anyone that could give that much energy to a role. He probably gave himself an aneurysm doing this thing. But it's when
Brondo.
Brondo. It's what plants do. So it's when like Joe is trying to tell people that plants need water, and that one kid, he's like, "Then won't plants come out of my toilet?" And
the toilet water, the toilet, like every time he says water, and they're like, "You mean like from the toilet?" Like that's the only place that they use water anymore.
Oh, it's so great. Yeah, I love that one. Private, he's like, so what are these electrolytes? Do you guys even know what electrolytes are? Like, it's what plants crave.
Yeah. Actually, that might be my quote. Like anytime anytime somebody says something about water and they go, "You mean like from the toilet?"
Yeah. I love that. I also like what the narrator says in the time pass. The narrator says, "The years passed. Mankind became stupider at a frightening rate. Some had high hopes that genetic engineering would correct this trend in evolution, but sadly, the greatest minds and resources were focused on conquering hair loss and prolonged erections." And honestly, that's exactly what the majority of rich white men would care about.
Yeah,
so I think that's great
and hilarious. Like they showed the monkey with the long hair and like the loincloth with the boner.
Yeah,
fucking ridiculous.
Okay, so now we're in the future, right? We're in 2505. Joe and Rita's suspension chambers are unearthed by the collapse of a mountain-sized garbage pile. Joe's chamber crashes, like I said, into Frito Pendejo. And if anybody knows Spanish, pendejo is Spanish for bitch. So that's just funny. So wandering around what was once Washington, D.C., Joe finds the population that has become profoundly anti-intellectual, speaking in low registers of English and wallowing in overconsumption and crass, unpopular entertainment. Technology is still advanced, but often malfunctioning, driven by garish commercialism and extreme simplicity. Such as a healthcare worker handling computer equipment akin to elementary education software. Believing he is hallucinating after years of hibernation, Joe enters a hospital and realizes the truth, and he's arrested for not having a barcode tattoo so that he could pay his doctor appointment. So he's sent to prison after being assigned the grossly incompetent pendejo as his lawyer. Okay, so the hospital scene when he's like, this one goes in your ear, this one goes in your mouth, this one goes in your butt. Wait, no.
As soon as he said that, I knew what was happening next.
Yep. Yeah, every joke is like delivered, and you can see it coming, but it's still funny because like him getting down into that water fountain that shoots out Gatorade is so good. Just the cut from, oh no, this one's the one that goes in your mouth. Whoops. Yep. I love that he like, and people are like, let me see your barcode. And he's like, what barcode? And they're like, oh my God. Well, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And like, but the thing is, do you think you get a barcode when you're born? Because like your skin would stretch, right? So like the barcode, so you would probably get it as like your license or something.
Yeah, I'm assuming that it's like when you get 18, a job and you can, drive and pay for your own stuff. That's when you get your tattoo.
Yeah. I love that scene. I love. He's like, I'm not sure what's happening here. It's like, not sure.
Not sure.
Like, yeah. It's like, are you sure? I'm not sure. Not sure. But I think, one of the earlier jokes I think is really funny is when he's going into prison and he's like walking around and he just tells the other guys like, hey, I think there's a mistake. I'm supposed to be leaving prison, not coming in.
I love that. I was like,
that's my favorite scene in this movie is when he escapes from prison by telling them that he's supposed to be leaving prison and not going in.
And it's not even that like the guard believes him. The guard makes fun of the other guards like, yo, you're stupid. Like this guy's supposed to be getting out of here.
It reminds me when I was watching this movie again, there's another movie called Ricky Gervais movie where he invents the invention of lying.
Perfect movie. And
I was like, this just reminds me of how like a society with no lying and this guy just decides to lie. And I'm like, that is what this movie is. Like Idiocracy, you can invent lying and everybody's going to believe you when you're this smart. When the society is dumbed down so much and this average dude is smart enough.
When you're the most average person in the world and then you're the smartest person in the world 500 years later.
And I will agree, the invention of lying is probably a perfect movie. So if you haven't seen a movie, go check that movie out. But wait, did
perfect
you guys
movie? But yes, it's a great movie.
I have to rewatch it.
It's not a perfect movie. It's a great movie. Like, don't get me wrong. Amazing movie. Premise is awesome. Ricky Gervais, he's touch and go with his comedy, but in this movie, he's great because of his delivery as a type of character and would be the type of person who would do that. Yeah. So, but it's perfect.
I don't know. I like that movie. I think it's got really good heart. The lessons are really cool. And watching a man learn to be better is always a cool story for me. But you're right. I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm going to hold off saying perfect. But if you ask, I'm not sure how closely you guys watch this movie, but there is a pack of cigarettes that has a Surgeon General's warning on it. Did you happen to see this pack of cigarettes for any reason? No. So the Surgeon General,
I remember, I can remember it. Like I remember seeing, I don't remember what it was saying.
Yeah, I happen to just pause it and read it because that's what I do. And this is what it says.
You have way too much time,
which is weird because I also have 0 time. It says, warning: the Surgeon General has 1 lung and a voice box, but he can still kick your sorry ass. That's the Surgeon General's warning. It's not about cigarettes. It's like, I'll fight you. There's a warning. I love that. Another part of this movie that I thought was just so funny was when he walks into Costco looking for a time machine, and the one guy at the front's like, "Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco. I love you." Dude. Because like in the future, that's all that job is like, look, just make sure people feel happy when they walk in here.
And then Dax Shepard, like I was surprised because usually I think Dax Shepard is like very boring to watch, but he was like perfect in this role.
I don't get the hate on Dax Shepard.
I didn't say he was bad. I just said he
was
boring. Like
you're right.
He never sticks out in anything that he's in. Yeah. But in this, he was like perfect.
Yeah, and a very easy way to see that is name your top 2 best Dax Shepard moments. And if you don't say Idiocracy, I dare you to say something else.
Without a paddle.
That movie's not good, and Steve Zahn's better. Seth Green is better. Dax Shepard is there.
Seth Green is way better in that movie.
Because
And
it's
I
a
don't
Seth
think
Green
Seth
movie.
Green is great.
I hate Seth Green, and he's good in it. Anyway.
Wow,
no,
Jesus!
just
I'm
kidding.
never gonna say what movies I like again. God damn it!
Yeah,
Especially
you have-
with you two.
Yeah, you have terrible taste in movies, Phil.
You are a
We've already
terrible
went over
human
that.
being.
Was Dax Shepard in that Parenthood show? Was that him?
No,
No,
no, that was
that was another actor that I think is normally boring.
yeah, he's yeah
that I
others.
get mixed up with Dax Shepard all the
Yeah.
time.
Another one of the cool little tidbits that I saw in this movie that I wrote down was in the beginning when you look at the family tree, in Cleavon's family tree, there's a chimpanzee, a goat, a dog, and also Hank Hill, which is great.
Nice.
That
the before we go past the Costco thing, yeah, that was where I think Dax Shepard's best line. It was Dax Shepard in Parenthood. Is that
really?
Is that what she's talking about? Because
yeah,
he was really good in that. But
Let's see. So Parenthood.
Actually, his podcast is very good. It's called like
Armchair Quarterback or something like that.
Armchair something, yeah. But it's actually pretty good.
Okay. But yeah, when they're in Costco and Luke Wilson's like, you went to law school at Costco, and he's like, yeah, and I was really lucky to get into like. Just his delivery of that line was so good.
Armchair Expert is his podcast.
Yeah, Armchair Expert. Yeah. Also in Costco, when he's being apprehended by police, in the background screens, the display, they display why Joe is wanted, and he's wanted for being a dick, for escaping from jail, and for fucking up lots of shit.
Nice.
Yeah, he
thank
wasn't
you,
bad.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, yeah, thank you very much. I thought it was that other guy, but I think I was thinking of Pushing Daisies or something.
Yeah, there is another guy that I always get mixed up with Dax Shepard, and I can't even remember who it is.
Yeah.
I want to say Matthew Lillard, but that's not right either.
Don't be hating on Matthew Lillard.
No. You cannot hate on Matthew Lillard. He is the king of the 90s.
He is such a gentle soul.
I agree. He's
sure
one of the world's tiny gems.
I mean, he's
a Brendan
great.
Fraser. He's a Brendan Fraser.
He seems like a very nice guy, but I hated him since Scream, like as an actor.
But what about Wing Commander, Scooby-Doo?
Yes.
What about the other billion movies?
Oh,
like,
it was
baseball
SLC.
movie.
It was SLC Punk that solidified my hate for him because I fucking hate that movie.
He's good in that movie. He's great in Hackers. You're wrong.
Oh, he's amazing in Hackers.
Yeah, he's great in Hackers.
He makes
hate
Hackers.
SLC
I'm sorry,
Punk,
he makes
period.
Hackers.
Like that's a bad movie.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard and Angelina Jolie's hair make Hackers. So now Mike Judge actually he came up with this movie. He came up with the idea for this movie while he was in Disneyland. Him and his family were in Disneyland. They were walking around. They actually saw two mothers fighting with kids in strollers. The mothers were cursing at each other, and they were just fighting like with these kids looking, and the kids almost started yelling at each other. And he thought that would just be the worst future if these people took over, which is pretty much true.
Disney is like the worst. Like it is supposed to be the happiest place in the world, but you see like the horrors of people.
Yeah,
like, it's horrible sometimes.
Yeah,
it's horrible. It's scary.
No, I agree. Disneyland. I mean, I still will go, but it is a terrifying.
Oh yeah,
place.
I would go in a heartbeat, but it's terrifying.
Yeah. All right. So where are we at in this movie? Let's see. So Pendejo's his lawyer, right?
Yeah, Pendejo.
Yeah.
Pendejo.
So Rita also leaves her chamber, and she just goes back to just going to work. As a sex worker.
She's right at home here,
dude. And I tell you, she is gonna rule the world because she's
gonna rule the sex world. Like boom, done.
Just the regular world because she understands people.
Yep. She gets it.
Yeah, she quickly realizes that people become so stupid that she can just charge customers money without actual services.
Yep.
She charges the one guy to wait, and that's so great to me.
For days, that guy is waiting, and she's like,
"Girl,
you're still on the clock," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know."
No, he's not like that. Dude,
Rudolph is great. She's great in this movie. She's hilarious in everything. Like
Yeah.
she's
But
a treasure.
the thing about that scene that's so great is the guy wasn't even dumb about it. He was like trying to even be sexy. He goes, girl, you know I can wait so hard. Watch how long I can wait. Like, I just thought it was so cool. He's like so stupid, but still trying. And that's obviously this is when Joe gets renamed to Not Sure by a faulty speech recognition tattooing machine and takes rudimentary IQ test. That's when he tricks the guards in claiming that he's meant to be released, and he simply just runs out the door and he successfully escapes prison. He finds Frito, who reveals that a time machine exists to return him to 2005. And he just simply runs out the door. And Joe bribes him with promises of riches through compound interest on a bank account. This scene is so funny, too, because he's like, so I'll just put money in a bank account and then you'll have billions. And he's like, I like money. He's like, no, 2 billion or something like that. He's like, fine. What happened?
He's like, oh, it'll cost me more than that. And he's like, then 5 billion. What do I care?
And it doesn't even matter because, like, once he's gone, it does not matter. No. And if he did it, it would have already happened, which is so great.
Yep.
But he's like, fine, 5 billion. I don't care. And let's say, so Frito takes them into a gigantic Costco store. That's where Joe's identified with his tattoo scanner is apprehended. They're taken to the White House, and Joe is appointed Secretary of Interior because his IQ test identifies him as the most intelligent person alive. Now, President Camacho introduces Joe to the cabinet and gives him the impossible job of fixing the nationwide food shortage, dust bowls, and crippling economy within a week. So he's like, look, you're smart. Fix this in a week. The Dust Bowl, easy fix.
Yeah,
I think it took like decades for you guys to fix the Dust Bowl the last time, or at least a decade. But yeah, do it in a week, sure.
But all it took was
I love it.
Not putting Gatorade on the crops.
Yeah,
it's like
it literally took like
put
a
the
day.
water from the toilet on the crops, and then they'll grow again.
Toilet water on the toilet.
Now, Joe discovers that the nation's crops are irrigated with Brondo, which is the thirst mutilator, whose parent corporation owns the FDA, the FCC, and the USDA. Now, this company owns all these, which means it becomes the water for everything now. They feed all their animals with it, and clearly all plants.
I'm surprised you have animals left.
When Joe has the irrigation system replaced with water, Brondo's stock plummets, causing massive layoffs and riots without any visible agriculture improvement, which is the big crux of the movie, is because Brondo lost that government contract technically for water.
They laid off half the people in the country.
Yeah, so half of the country went unemployed within a week because of what Joe does. which is crazy. Now, for punishment, Joe is sentenced to die in a monster truck demolition derby featuring undefeated rehabilitation officer Beef Supreme. However, Beef's oversized vehicle is crushed trying to enter the arena. Another great thing, the truck was so big it could not fit into the... It's like the jokes in this thing are so stupid.
The jokes are so perfectly timed, though. It's like you get this thing and it's like, oh, here comes Beef Supreme. He is undefeated. He's coming out of retirement and he has the biggest. And you're just waiting for this thing. And then it tries and it can't get through the door. And then the entire stadium collapses on top of it. And it's like, wow, we get nothing out of this. And that is hilarious.
So great. So great. Now, Joe manages to defeat the other vehicle. Joe's vehicle is so funny with that flopping purple dildo on it. So good. Now Rita and Frito discover that Joe's reintroduction of water to the soil has allowed vegetation to grow. Showing the sprouting crops on the stadium's Jumbotron prompts Camacho's presidential pardon. So pretty much Rita just ran out and looked at a tiny piece of green in the ground, and the president's like, all right, Joe, you're pardoned. Get out of there, even though you won, but whatever. Now, Joe and Rita decide to stay in the future, although they later discover that they had no choice as the time machine. Even though they still think there's a time machine, they decide to stay in the future. When they finally realize what the time machine is, it was just Frito mentioned that it's merely a childish inaccurate, historically themed amusement ride. And it's just that stupid, just that stupid little ride that he's like, oh, it's a time machine, no doubt. Now, they convince the world's three smartest children. They conceive the world's three smartest children, while the new Vice President Frito takes 8 wives and fathers 32 of the world's stupidest children. The film ends with Joe's inaugural speech where he praises earlier civilizations for their technology and wonders, and expresses hope this society will one day, contribute as well. Now, the post-credit scene. Did you guys know there's a post-credit scene?
No.
I did not until this last viewing, by the way. Now, the post-credit scene, Upgrade wakens from his suspension chamber and he goes off to look for Rita. It is, oh my God. If there is a way to make a better joke on this movie, you watch the fact that Upgrade is coming to get her.
Oh my God.
Which is, what a perfect ending to all of that.
That is just so... best. That's oh my God.
Yeah.
I need to go watch that again. I thought, are you bullshitting though? Are you bullshitting?
No, that's true.
Okay.
Is that on the YouTube cut? Because I thought I let the credits run all the way through, but
I'm not sure. It's on a DVD, which is what I have.
Okay, yeah, I don't have the DVD. I watched it on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Free with ads.
Yeah. Well, if you just type in like end credit, you'll see it.
And yeah, okay.
Now, a couple more bits of trivia that I'm not sure if you guys know, but I'm a trivia freak, so I'm just going to throw these out there and we can chat about it. One of the things I like the most is that the president, as we know now, he has the Air Force One and he has his presidential whatever. In this movie, there's a presidential RV, and which has the number 28,000 on it, which is ironically the real tail number for Air Force One. Did you guys happen to see who plays Beef Supreme?
No.
Oh, it's
I recognize
Luke
him,
Wilson.
but
it's Luke Wilson, which is so cool because he has like a beard and whatever. But yeah, it's Owen's. I'm sorry, it's Andrew Wilson. Andrew Wilson, which is Owen and Luke's third brother.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, so the object that causes the garbage avalanche of 2505 is a beer can, which
Please tell me it's Duff. Please tell me it's Duff beer.
Well, the thing is that when you see the beer can, there's a big thing that says it's a recyclable can, which is funny because they just threw it away anyway because they're so stupid. Now, although the marketing campaign for this film went unnoticed, 20th Century Fox licensed the Brondo drink for sale, and no one bought it because no one watched this movie when it first came out, which is cool. And now has a cult following. Now, Upgrade is actually played by rapper Scarface, and along with his group, the Ghetto Boys. I don't know if you guys know that Upgrade is one of the Ghetto Boys.
Okay.
Scarface has written and performed many rap songs from Mike Judge's Office Space. So when they're breaking up the fax machine, it's actually Upgrade rapping, which is weird.
It's Scarface, not Upgrade. His name is Scarface.
Well, yeah, I mean, in my brain now, it's Upgrade.
That is horrible. He's an amazing rapper.
No, I know. I'm kidding. Scarface is great. I love the Ghetto Boys. Now, the main character's name is Joe Bauer, who is made Secretary of Interior, charged with trying to solve the issue of crops by not growing the future. Weird thing is, Bauer is German for the word farmer. So here's a little tidbit of trivia for you. And when Joe is escaping from prison, he runs past a rusted DeLorean, and is obvious that's a nod to the best
Back to the Future
time travel movie. Best, yeah. I think that's pretty much all. Mike Judge obviously makes a cameo performance in all of his movies. In Office Space, he's the restaurant manager who tells Jennifer Aniston to have more flair. In this movie, he is the announcer of the Demolition Derby. He's also the announcer of the Masturbation Network. So that's cool.
Go away, I'm baiting.
Yeah. I think that's all of it. Now, Artie Lang actually auditioned for Joe and didn't get it because obviously he's not that great of an actor. I'm not sure why I wrote that down as a bit trivia. Every time I see Artie Lang, I'm like, oh, that guy's still alive. That's cool. Right on, Artie Lang. You're hanging in there. That's cool. No, he's actually he's in that new sitcom. Standing up, falling down. I don't know. It's a really good one where this guy, like his guy's wife leaves him and he just tries to do stand-up comedy, and Artie Lang just happens, like as Artie Lang happens to be in the audience, he's like, dude, you're awful. And they become friends, and it's actually a really good show. I think it's produced by Jim Carrey. Not sure about that. But all in all, I think this movie holds up fairly well. I think it has a great rewatchability. I think this is a movie you could watch every like year or so and still probably get the same thing out of the same jokes. What do you guys think? Overall thoughts? Feel better?
It's when I first saw it, it was like, oh my god, this can be our actual future. I was scared because I'm like, oh my god, this is quite possible because it was at the height of like the reality TV period and when I saw it. So I was like, oh my god. And then just seeing what happened within the last like 5 years and rewatching it for this, I was like, holy fuck, this is quite possible. Like I'm still thinking like it's still a possibility that will happen. You know, it's this or the Handmaid's Tales. That's the two futures that we have unless we change. But this movie is awesome. I love it. And like you said, it's you can rewatch it every year and still get the enjoyment from it and see new and funnier things.
Yeah, no, completely agree. What about you, Mr. Mick?
I really liked this movie. I was thrilled. I did just watch the post-credit scene. It is real. Upgrade does come out of one of those.
Thank you for confirming this. I can trust Zach again.
He just sort of struts down the street and then like looks back at a girl's ass that passes him in the street and then fade to black. So it really happens. So yeah, actually, absolutely a beautiful movie. The visual effects look very like they don't look good, but everything looks the same, so nothing sticks out. So it's like everything is computer animated, like all the backgrounds, the garbage piles, the stadium, the trucks, and all of that stuff is all computer generated. So it doesn't like throw you off that there's something that looks stupid
or misplaced,
like out of place. It all looks the same. So it looks really I thought it looked really cool. The acting is very good from everybody. And like a really funny movie. I was legitimately laughing at the stupid stuff that the dumb characters in the future were laughing at, and I was also legitimately laughing at the satire stuff, you know, that the movie is actually about. So yeah, I would also absolutely watch a 90-minute movie called Ass that's just an ass that's farting every once in a while. I would probably watch it, you know, once or twice, but I would definitely watch it.
It's like that weird thing where like when you watch it, you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
And after like 5 minutes, you're like, why am I still watching this? And after like 10 minutes, you're like, there's something.
There's something to this ass movie.
And in 15 minutes, you're like, okay, I'm actually still watching this.
You're hating you can feel your brain cells just go pop.
Yeah. I'm like, well, I hate myself for all of this. All right, so let's quickly do some reels and then we'll get into what we're talking about for Friday and then next Monday. So Phil, now we already have 9 reels from Justin Wallace.
From the
9
man himself.
out of 10. 9.
10. I'm giving this 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah, it's fun. You can this is literally turn off your brain and you're gonna laugh your ass off. This is don't think this is like Oscar worthy or anything like that. It's not The Revenant. It's nothing like that. This is just a movie where you can get stoned and watch and just like fucking laugh and chuckle the whole time through and just enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I agree. Mr. Mike.
Yeah, I am on the this is like one of those movies that I really like RoboCop or Starship Troopers, where if you want to get something out of it, you can. But also, if you want to just watch a dumb movie and laugh at how dumb it is, it has that too. So I'm not going to go quite as high because I don't think this is like, I don't think this is a recommend to everyone. but I still think it's a very solid movie. I'm giving it 7 reels. I really enjoyed it. I'll probably watch it again. And yeah, it's God, it's really stupid, but like in the best way.
It's one of those movies that the stupidity just makes it even better.
Yeah.
And
The stupidity is the point. And if you're watching Idiocracy
for anything other than stupidity,
you have a problem. It's hopefully what you're expecting.
Yeah, I agree. And it also has this cool way of making you think like, God, I hope things do not get here. You know, which like has this interesting way of making like, I probably should be better because I don't want this. You know, I don't think that we should have this. This seems bad. So I'm going to give this movie 8 out of 10. I think this movie is really clever, and especially when it came out. And I wish that I would have appreciated more because I would have pushed it in more of people's face. And so we got a 7.5, we got a 7, we got a 9, we got an 8. That gives us a total of 31.5, which is on average like a 7.8. So I think that's a pretty solid number there.
That's
smarter than all
right
of us
where
with
it
your
should be.
math skills.
Absolutely,
bro. I just have a calculator in
Okay.
my hand. Like, no, don't.
I like rattling that off. I was like, damn, that's kind of impressive.
I have like so many apps with like notes and everything going off. So no, I'm rattling anything off. I'm using a lot of guides here. But yeah, I mean, Real Boys give it a 7.8, which I think that means that we liked it. Because obviously Boondock Saints got way less than that. And
I don't even think there was no rating on it. There was no rating. It was a Clockwork Orange situation.
It did get Clockwork Orange where we didn't even bother with the reels.
If we do the top what is it? We're 80 movies or whatever, our top 100 movies. This is our Clockwork Orange and Boondock Saints are fighting for number 100. That's what's going on.
I'm excited for that list. Yeah.
I've accepted that.
I'm already excited making that list right now. Because I just automatically put Clockwork Orange at the bottom until I remembered Boondock Saints on there, and I'm like, oh yeah, Forrest Gump's also down there. So who knows? Now I will say I do. No, I'm gonna say it. Okay, so this coming. I was gonna say I like Forrest Gump less than all the movies, but I actually like Boondock Saints way less. Forrest Gump is troubled. Boondock Saints really it fights me. It wants to. It harasses me. If I see the cover box, I'm like, who put this here? Anyway, and I work at a thrift shop, so okay, so this Friday, okay, now Real Boys is doing some cool stuff every other Friday. We're gonna just hop into some cool movies. One of the movies that got a lot of people talking for some reason was Into the Night Part 2. It was that crazy...
The Night Comes For Us.
Right, yeah, the Night Comes For Us. Yeah. Now that movie, we liked it. We liked the movie a lot. We had a couple funny comments about it. But
we liked the action scenes in that movie.
Yes.
I loved the action scenes in that movie. That movie has hundreds of comments, thousands of views, and we have upset.
It's the only reason we're monetized on YouTube. It's the only reason, people.
Seriously, I mean, we have like countries hating us because of our average views of this movie. But anyway, so what we decided to do was we're going to get some more.
Insulted.
It meant the fact that we liked the movie averagely. It was an average movie. We didn't hate the movie at all. That's all I'm saying. The viewer of that movie. So what we want to do is we're going to hop into some more like Indonesian action thrillers. So what we decided to do for this, soon, not this Friday.
Soon. Yeah,
it's Friday.
I'm asking.
Oh yeah, dude, I love Tony Jaa is phenomenal, and I will I love him. So what we're going to do this Friday is we're going to hit the 2011 film The Raid. And I don't know if you know this film. This film is pretty special because it is an Indonesian action thriller, but it's written and directed and edited by Gareth Evans. And I don't know if you guys know who Gareth Evans is.
He sounds familiar.
He does sound familiar because he made...
Keeping us on suspense here. Are you just trying to run out the clock? What's going on here, man?
The Raid 2. Okay, so honestly, here's the problem. Note is I wrote down Gareth Edwards, and I was shocked because that's the Godzilla Star Wars guy, and I'm like, he did The Raid, but no, it's actually Gareth Evans, not Gareth Edwards. So my fault for that. But no, this movie is action packed. It is super super cool. So you could check this movie out. We're gonna talk about it this coming Friday. Now for Monday though. I'm excited about this one because this is another one of my absolute favorite films. And I was so happy when I saw it on there because I didn't think about it. But Mr. Jarian Smith, he has posted up his number 2 favorite film of all time, which is The Last Dragon. I don't know if anyone has seen.
You glitched out there for me. What were you saying?
The Last Dragon.
Oh, The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Amazing.
Starring Mr. Bruce Leroy and the evil villain Sho'nuff. Now, if you guys don't know this thing, it is a weird 80s kung fu comedy. I guess blaxploitation is a fair way to say this one. It is a very weird movie with breakdancing and kung fu, and Prince's ex-girlfriend is in it. I
can't wait to watch this movie.
Dude, this movie is so good.
It's awesome.
This movie so good. So I'm excited.
Actually, I'm not going to say it's awesome because I haven't seen it in probably 15 years. But
no, awesome.
You just don't want to pull another Clockwork Orange.
Yeah,
right?
that's exactly what I'm trying to avoid.
No, it is awesome. You are 100% accurate, and I'm super excited to watch it. Although I'm not going to be there. Actually, I'll be there for this Monday.
You can always do like Justin Wallace did and film a Hey Arnold video.
That's true. I probably have an old Snapchat edition, so I can find.
I am going to find out how to stretch my head like that.
Yeah, I know.
You know he's using an old phone and it's like it's not even 720 HP or whatever the freaking thing is, and he's sending it over, and just because it's like HD here, it just like
I may have a flip phone in my attic that I can do my video with.
Samsung really just came out with a new one. Buy that one.
It was really hard taking Justin's VHS tape and then uploading it to StreamYard. But luckily, he overnighted it to me, so I got it up pretty quickly. Now, The Raid, I think we could watch this on Netflix. That's what Google says, but I don't think that's true. So
there's a great app. There's a great app. It's called Just Watch. Just Watch. Okay. You can use it in all over the world. It's a website as well, and you can. It says where are you, and you just put your country and you put in the name of the movie. So for our Canadian viewers, I don't care.
Which leads us to our sponsor, which is Podcast Mogul VPN. You can put your location in Canada whenever you want with a Podcast Mogul VPN. Thank you to our sponsor, Podcast Mogul VPN.
You know, we could just use like NordVPN and just put an affiliate link down below and actually make money, right? You do know that.
I didn't know that, but thank you to NordVPN for possibly giving us money. And if you don't know what a VPN is, just go and tell your computer that you don't live where you live. You actually live somewhere else that has
pretty much. Yeah, that's how I watch all stuff.
Yeah,
NordVPN. I'm going to send my link to you and put it in the show notes.
Love it. I'll take it. Go check out Phil Better's Podcast Mogul and his own personal VPN. You can see him on all 93 of his podcasts. One of which is
I'm getting to 100. I'm trying.
I know the visual one though is named Michael. What's the one visual one?
Yeah. What's my new visual podcast named?
Oh, it's Phil Better's Feet. And it's it's like a webcam. It's like a live webcam.
It's
but
visual ASMR.
It's just like it's down on the ground, and he's just like wiggling his toes, and he's not wearing socks. Sometimes he paints his nails while he's doing the podcast.
The interesting thing about the show is actually, I don't know if you said this correctly, but it's called Feel Better Feet. It's FEEL, Better Feet, and it's Phil touching his own feet, like a visual ASMR. The one that I find quite pleasing is the one that Phil just put up. It's called Streaming the Streams, where he just sits outside looking at water. But that's what Canadians do. They just look at water.
We have so much water. We just watch it whenever we can.
Yeah. I don't know if you watched all of Streaming the Streams, but the reason it's called Streaming the Streams is because he sits there and watches it until he has to go to the bathroom, and then he pees into the stream.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I
only watched like the first minute and a half for the introduction, and then I hop to the post credit because I think that's clever editing, my friend.
Thank you.
But anyway, go see all of his stuff. And Phil, which one of your shows would you like to talk about right now?
You know what? I'm going to talk about the Feel Better show because I've just started it up again. It's my baby, my first podcast over 6 years ago. I started it. I've been with COVID and all that stuff. I've just restarted with my buddy Aaron Talks Film, an amazing podcaster in his own right, where we just review classic movies, and they go up every Wednesday.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mr. Michael
Wow,
Colby.
you sound so enthused and so fake at the same time. Thank you for your fakeness.
I honestly,
I appreciate it.
I do listen to the Phil Bear show. I know what that show is. I did tune you out the last 30 seconds because I did not want to mess up the banners because Dylan yells at me if I don't do the proper directing. So I am very sorry. Because as you see, I did not put your banner up because I was too busy looking for it and not listening to you. Anyway, thank you very much, Phil. I appreciate it. Mr. Michael Colby.
Yes, I am. The one I want to talk about is Jack Billings Presents Haunted Apartment Complex, because that thing is going insane, and I have been working like crazy on it. I've been writing episodes. I do all the sound production and stuff on it, and it has been getting really weird. So go and follow me on Twitter at my neighbor MICH1, and I post up all of my new stuff. But really, what I would like people to listen to is Jack Billings Presents Haunted Apartment Complex, because that is my first podcast, and it's the one, like, there has never been anything that I've done artistically that I'm as proud of as that dumb, weird show.
Yeah, honestly, I'll agree. Listen, I have listened to all the shows of all the Real Boys. I currently listen to, I do listen to Phil Better show. I listen to 2 of your shows. Now, but Jack Billings, though, I will say this. When Dylan and I got together and we wanted to make a show, we started writing this up as Silicon Angels, which is the only thing I'm going to talk about today for me. Silicon Angels, please watch it. It is the pride and joy.
Change it for yours.
Wait, hold on.
Before you go on, I'm trying to help you out.
Hold on, pause. Do I have one?
Where's your banner?
Oh, wait, there's,
you do.
There it is. Okay. So, my name is Zach Wiseman. Anyway, so Silicon Angels, a very weird show that Dylan and I wrote together, and it's about the IT company of a sex robot shop. When we were writing all of this together, and we're trying to like put the jokes together, we're like, does anybody do fake shows? We don't know if this is like a thing. When we Googled fake podcasts or like podcasts of fictional universes, I will say Jack Billings Presents popped up, and that thing blew me away. I binged as much as I could. I was so impressed that I honestly thought, like, who is this real? And it got me until I listened, like, maybe like, this is obviously not real. But yeah, please,
that was the point. The point was to get it to make people think that it was real up until a point, and then you go, there's no way that this is real.
Yeah, for me, that was episode 6. I'm like, this is really stupid, and I love these guys, and they need to be my friends. So I'm really glad this happened. So please, check out Phil Better, dude. Phil, honestly, that guy's crushing it. I talk a lot. He says stuff. That's
wow.
Woo! Two different things. I talk. He says stuff. Obviously, Jack Billings.
You guys are more creative than me by far. You guys, everybody on this panel is far more creative than me.
Yep.
The only thing I do is I figure out how to make money because I'm a pure capitalist.
We're not saying anything though. We're just saying some dumb shit.
Yeah, but you're entertaining the world, which is what we need. You guys are creating the entertainment for the future.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm just happy to be connected to creative fucking people.
Like I said, we all talk. Phil figured it out. Check him out. He's an actual professional. But some other people that we do want to talk about, though, that really makes the show going, is the other Real Boys. We have Mr. Chris Harvey. If you're in the Atlanta area, this dude probably doing stand-up. If you're beside like a Wendy's, this dude's probably doing stand-up. If you're doing anything at all, he's doing stand-up. Go check him out. He also has a really cool show called Chris and Chris, where him and his buddy Chris talk about stuff. We have our friend, Mr. DL Smokes, with his show, Oops, Caught Me Smoking. He also has another show with Mr. Jerry and Blaze of the famous Jerry and Blaze of the Crowd Chronicles. Now, what's their other show called?
Bet That with Jerry and DL.
Bet that. Bet that. Bet that. Bet that. All right.
Should be a sound
you were supposed to come up with a fake show. That was
no, I do not do that. I'm too professional. Remember, I'm not creative. I named a show after myself, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
that's my creativity. Funny. Okay.
My creativity is such that I called my show the Phil Better Show.
Yeah, like okay, like let's don't put me on the spot.
Dude,
Jesus,
you got a fake name like Phil Better. You need to own it.
It's not. It's not fake. It's my real name.
Yeah, cool. Hey, Silicon Angels is real too. That's fine. Also, because this is Mr. Justin Wallace's number 2 show, number 2 movie, Idiocracy, go check out his show, Anime Shenanigans, which is an offshoot of Carpool Shenanigans. But his car broke down, so now they're just watching cartoons. So check that out. Who knows?
That video that we saw earlier, where he was in the car.
Arnold.
It was just sitting on cinder blocks out on his front yard.
Well, so he took the cinder blocks off. He pushes it a little bit, and then he hops into it so that it's moving. And that's when he does the carpool ones. When it's still cartoon shenanigans. He should have called it cartoon shenanigans. Carpool, whatever. But honestly, I could not be on here without my sister from another, Mr. Dylan Terry. If you like anything that I've said, it's most likely because Dylan has written it or has told me to be funnier in my text messages. But either way, some nobodies is because Dylan is such a great man. His birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, my best friend Dylan Terry, and Dylan everything Terry. Else. But yeah, so Monday we have what's today? Monday. So Friday we have The Raid.
The Raid.
Written.
Who puts him in charge of things?
I don't know. Monday. Last dragon. I don't know. Look, we're gonna get out of here. So we're gonna say goodbye to everybody, and I'm gonna figure out everybody. Hold on a second.
You have to put the video on. The video.
Wait, I have to do the other thing.
Take off Dylan's thing. Put the rolly one. That's
bye.
Wait,
Wait, keep going, Michael.
Take off his thing. Take off Dylan's thing. Jesus.